Drivers, drivers, drivers. He scored points, he crashed out. He made a debut. This lad is gonna be the champion. So much about the guys who were put into the cockpit, but what about the ladies who put them on Earth? Well, today we'll do that. Today we'll talk just about their moms and find out the holy grail to raising an exceptional driver, Sophie Kumpen. Sophie may now be most popular as Max Verstappen's mother, but to be honest, she is so much more. After being born in Hasselt, Belgium, to the house of Robert Kumpen, and since her two brothers, Paul and Anthony, were already in racing, Sophie was quickly drawn to motorsports as well. She began karting at the age of 11 and was competitive even against the likes of Jenson Button and Nick Heifeld. Her biggest win came in the form of the Andrea Margruti Trophy in 1995. But just next year, she was married to Josh in 1996, and she quit racing to take care of the children. However, the couple separated in 2008, and Sophie started racing again in the 2013 Tornado Swift. But, as luck would have it, in the final race of the event in Zandvoort, she crashed and one of her vertebrae broke, after which her only connection to motorsports was left with Max, where the young man definitely delivered. Nicole Piastri. This proud mother of the 23-year-old Australian driver, while may not be as serious a driver as Max's mom, but she definitely has a funny bone. And it is thanks to this that with 64,000 people waiting on her posts every moment, Nicole has her own fan following on Twitter. Let's give you an example. Recently, Piastri posed with Alonso saying, "Had his kart, now I've got his helmet," referencing the fact that the first go-kart he ever had was from the Spaniard's kart brand. A fan replies, "The goat father and the goat son." Nicole's hilarious reply was, "Pretty sure I would have remembered that." Talking about his father, his name is Chris, and before we move on to the next mom, I'll let you off with one little fact. The total investment Oscar's parents have made on him until now is $6.5 million. Carmen Larber-Leste. This mother of the 7-time world champion married Anthony Hamilton in 1979. Lewis Hamilton came much later in their life in 1985, but when he was only 2 years old, Carmen and Anthony divorced. Carmen then raised Lewis for the first 12 years of his life, during which she married Raymond Lockhart and eventually had 2 daughters with him. While little is known about her role in Hamilton's interest in cars, it goes without saying that it definitely was his mother who made him what he is. Siska Woman. Like Verstappen's mother, Lando Norris's mother also belonged from Belgium, but from the Flanders regions of the country. With Lando's father, Adam Norris, Woman had 4 children in total. The oldest is Oliver, next comes Lando, followed by the younger Flo and Siska Norris. Yes, the youngest daughter's name is Siska as well. Pascal Leclerc. The mother of 3, including the driver in the red overalls, is Pascal Leclerc. Not many details are available about her academic background or even where she's originally from, but Charles Leclerc's mother isn't really a housewife. She is a hairdresser. And, surprisingly, David Coulthard's hairdresser. As Coulthard likes to recall, once after getting his hair done, he spots his hairdresser out on the paddocks. Shocked, Coulthard asks her what's she doing there, to which she replies, "I had a paddock pass, so I thought I'd come in and wander around. Oh, my son is racing. It's Charles Leclerc." What a cool mom. Ana Maria Diaz Martinez. Fernando Alonso has long been under the influence of this woman, who is, in fact, a part of the reason why Alonso is as successful as he is. In the early years of Alonso's life, Martinez used to sew his overalls and kept making changes to them as he grew up. Along with working as an employee at a departmental store, she made sure to do all she could for Alonso, all the while trying to make him academically competent. But when Alonso didn't listen and kept skipping classes, she also was the one that got him the permit to practice racing during school time. All in all, the perfect mother Alonso could ever wish for. Grace Ricardo. As the name suggests, it was the honey badger who was raised by this woman. Grace was born in Australia, but her parents originally came from Calabria, a region in southern Italy. This also explains why the surname, Riccardo, of Italian descent, is pronounced by Grace and her family as the Australian Riccardo instead of the Italian Ricciardo. Reyes Vasquez de Castro. The next mom on the list raised Carlos Sainz. You may have already seen her walk the stands with her son with her exquisite sense of fashion, but the glamour part of her life is only half the picture. She married Carlos Sainz Sr. in 1992, after which she was also supremely successful in raising a family of three, namely Antonio Sainz, Carlos Sainz Jr., and Blanca Sainz Vasquez, keeping the perfect balance between both lifestyles. Marilu Perez. But the video's not complete without mentioning the only Mexican parent, that is, of course, Mama Checo. Her full name is Marilu Mendoza de Perez and has passed a good chunk of her life being a housewife. She's a mother of three and the wife of Antonio Perez Garibay. It was also Marilu who was sick in July in 2020, for which Perez had to go back to Mexico to check on her in the hospital. This incident is famous because Checo then came back with COVID-19 positive and was replaced by Nico Hülkenberg for the upcoming Silverstone Sunday. Claire Ann Collins. Another mom who finds her background in Belgium is the mother of Lance Stroll. By profession, she is neither a horse rider nor a hairdresser or a housewife, but is a fashion designer, and, by family, she's the mother of Chloe, Stroll's older sister, and Stroll himself. Her spouse is the Canadian billionaire, Lawrence Stroll, who is also somewhat considered to be the reasons why Lance found a place in Aston Martin as quickly as he did. Marianne Valima. After giving birth to Valtteri Bottas on the 28th of August 1989 in Nastola, Finland, Marianne has always been with our Flying Finn. She is an undertaker at her job, which is quite a daring thing to do, if you ask me. But with all the mothers we've come across in this video, not one looked like she'd back out of trouble, so no surprise there. About the rest of the guys on the grid, they're just too secretive. They haven't let out anything about their moms, about their education, or even their date of birth, apart from their names, of course. So even though we wanted to cover the whole racing pack to the bottom, that might not be the case after all. And that is everything about the women who raised their children to become the Formula One drivers of today. Anything. And with that, until the next time we meet, guys, you make sure to have the time of your life.